Hello there, this is a walkthrough of Mastery Exam FA, Practice Version 1, and the way we're going to split these videos up for FA, not do one video per problem, but do one video for every set of problems that are related somehow. So we're going to do one video for problems 1, 2, and 3, which are closely related, another one for problems 4 and 5, and then a third one for problem 6. All of them more or less have to do with the same idea. FA stands for function algebra, and in this exam, you're always given a function specified as a formula like this. In all of our mastery exams, it's going to be a second-degree polynomial that looks more or less like this with the numbers changed each week. And you're just asked to calculate different function values, plug different things into this function, and then calculate and then completely simplify what you get. Just a word about how that works. When you see a function definition like this with x's, f of x equals 2x squared plus 3x minus 3, what you want to do is think of the x more like a blank. It might actually be simpler to think of it like this. F of fill in the blank equals 2 times whatever was in the blank squared plus 3 times whatever was in the blank minus 3. And whatever it is you put excuse me, in the blank here goes in all instances of the blank that you see outside here. Now what that sets up is a calculation that involves a simple algebra, and then you just carry that calculation out and simplify the answer completely. Let's see how this works with f of 4, and if you can understand these three, then the other three on here, which are a little more complicated, will make a lot more sense. So what is f of 4? Well, f of 4, I'm just going to leave a blank like this to start with and actually write out the blanks. 2 times blank squared plus 3 times blank minus 3. Now what I'm filling in the blank here with in number 1 here is 4. So f of 4 is 2 times 4 squared, maybe I'll parenthesize that to emphasize it, plus 3 times 4 minus 3. Okay, so whatever goes in the blank here, whatever gets substituted in for the x, goes to where all the instances of x were in the formula. Okay, and that's just 2 places. Now we just look at the right-hand side and realize that life's pretty easy here. All I got to do is just do some simple arithmetic. 4 squared, 2 times 4 squared, that's 2 times 16. 3 times 4, I'll just go ahead and do that as 12. And then minus 3. And I just got to keep going with all this arithmetic and make sure I get a correct answer. 2 times 16 is 32, plus 12 minus 3, and now let's add them together. 32 plus 12 is 44. So subtracting 3, and then the answer to that, of course, is 41. And that's what goes up here in the blank, 41. So isolate the basic principle here, and the rest of this exam is actually quite simple. When I have a formula, whatever I put in the blank goes in the variables in the formula, and then we just do the algebra or the arithmetic that ensues. So I'm going to change pages here, and we're going to take a look at the other two problems here, problem 2 and problem 3 in turn. Okay, so now let's have a look at problem 2 on this exam, which is the exact same command, just a different thing to plug in. We're looking at f of 2x plus 1. Just as we were working with f of 4 a minute ago, let's write down what the function is to begin with. Let's do this as a parenthetical up here. F of x the formula was 2x squared plus 3x minus 3. So when I was looking at f of 4, I just simply replaced the x on both sides here and these 2 places here with a 4. I'm going to do the exact same thing in this case, except I'm going to replace the x with a 2x plus 1. So f of 2x plus 1 is equal to 2 times, and let me just put the blanks here, 2 times something squared plus 3 times blank minus 3. So what I'm going to plug in here is 2x plus 1. Like so. And that is what f of 2x plus 1 is. It's taking the formula for f, and wherever I see an x, let's just make it a big red dot. I'm going to put that here. I'm also going to put it here. Here that is. And then we're just going to do some algebra here to finish this off. So the hard part is really done. The conceptual part is really done. Now we have to do some algebra to make sure we get this right. So let's do that. So 2 times, now when I square this 2x plus 1, let's do that off to the side here. So 2x plus 1 squared is 2x plus 1 times itself. Let's just write that out. And now we'll use the FOIL method to determine what that is. So first it would give me 4x squared. Outer would give me 2x. inner gives me another 2x, and last gives me 1. And so if I simplify that, let me put that in parentheses. This, I see a couple of like terms here. This will simplify to 4x squared plus 4x plus 1. Make sure you do correct algebra here. Kind of a rookie mistake that some people do is square the 2x and square the 1. That's kind of a bad mistake. You always use the FOIL method when you're multiplying out a binomial, a two-term sum like this. I'll just copy down the rest of the problem here, no rush to get this done. And now the next step here, what we'll do is we have a couple of places where we're multiplying numbers through a parenthesis, but this first term and the second term. Let's do that distributive property here. So I'm multiplying the 2 through. That would give me 8x squared plus 8x plus 2 plus, and now this one, multiply here, that gives me a 6x. Multiply there, that gives me a 3. Then I have this minus 3 at the end. So now no more parentheses. All I have to do now is collect like terms. I do see immediately that I can subtract. I'm subtracting a 3 and adding a 3, so I can just cross that out. There's only one x squared term. Here's a couple of x terms, and there's only one number or constant term left over. So here's my final answer: 8x squared plus 14x plus 2. And that's my answer. And remember how we got this is just simply using the same concept that worked for f of 4. Write down the formula and think of the x in the formula as a blank, and this is what you're putting in the blank. All right, finally, let's take a look at problem 3. And here again, we're simply asked to compute f of a function, f of a input value. The input value here is a squared. So once again, let's write down. It just helps to write things down. F of x, although I'll leave it as a blank, is 2 whatever blank squared plus 3 times blank minus 3. And here the blank is being filled in by a squared. So let's write this out. So f of a squared is 2 times blank. And what's going in, sorry, I want to actually use a red for that to show you what's going in here. A squared is going in the blank, plus 3 times blank, and again what's going in the blank is a squared. Finally, minus 3, and there is no blank on that one. Okay, so there I am again, just simply going to the formula and putting in the input, a squared, into the blank that is formally filled by x, and just seeing what I get. So now what has to happen is some algebra. 2 times a squared squared, as we saw on a previous master exam, a squared squared, I'm going to multiply the exponents and get a to the 4th. 3a squared is just 3a squared, and then minus 3. And now I just want to check and make sure this is completely simplified, which means, are there any like terms that I could possibly add? Well, in this case, no. There's an a to the 4th, there's an a squared, and a constant term that has no a's on it at all. So that's completely simplified, and that's your answer. So to recap this method that we're doing here in exam FA, it's real simple. Again, you're given a formula, and just think of the x in the formula as a blank. And in fact, write out the formula with a blank instead of x if it helps.